Welcome back to Stooge Stream. I'm your host, the Stooge. It's the Impact recap. We're looking at the last episode of the handover period. Next week, it'll be pure Anthem, baby, and a whole lot of changes. As always, the voice you heard in the background there is the one and only Gbanks.
What's happening, YouTubers? What's going on?
And we had a pretty decent last episode of an era. That's what it really is, because we know there's a whole lot of change and coming very soon.
It was look, it wasn't as great as the last couple episodes we've been watching, but it was had its moments. This episode had its moments.
It definitely did. So, and one of those moments, I have to say, was the very beginning of the show, opening with Jade versus Rosemary in a last knockout standing for the Knockouts title. This was
always gonna
vicious.
look, if Jade's in it, I'm always looking forward to it, and especially when it's knockouts. Bring it on, man.
Yeah.
And it's a last knockout standing match.
Last knockout standing.
Yeah. Bring it on.
So as soon as you put Jade and Rosemary in a ring, they've had 3 quite vicious matches.
Brutal
One steel
match.
cage match, one Monsters Ball. Now a last knockout standing match. There was some weapons. There was some big hits. I think the most brutality as always came from Rosemary delivering 3 red weddings in 3 different spots.
Yeah.
One in the ring, one on the apron, and one on the ramp. But of course, Jade got in some great hits of sidestepping Rosemary and Rosemary taking the pole to the face, grabbing Rosemary, throwing her down on the steel steps.
She had some stiff kicks of herself.
Some great stiff kicks.
She's Japanese influence.
What did you think of the match overall?
I enjoyed it. As I said, if it's something to do with Jade, nothing taken from Rosemary. I just love Jade.
Yeah.
The knockout.
She won us over badly.
Yeah, she won us over very badly, actually. It's kind of contradicting. But anyway, who gives a shit? We're wrestling fans.
And I love Rosemary's character, so anytime I get a chance to see her in full character.
Look, I love how Rosemary's going at the moment, too.
Full kayfabe character. It's great.
It's awesome. You don't see much of that in wrestling these days. And she's actually really living up to that character. But, all in all, really enjoyed the match. Great way to start the night too. Holy
Definitely,
shit,
and quite brutal, hard hitting, quite fast. Rosemary takes the win with one of those red weddings on the ramp.
Yeah, while she missed, she did the whole mist thing.
In the eyes, and it's very distraction. Now the red wedding's like a side flapjack faceplant. It's
similar to the F5, but other way around, kind of.
But sideways rather than spinning.
Yeah, exactly right.
Really interesting move. It looks great, and especially delivering it on the ramp looked quite brutal.
And she done it, as I said, 3 times. She done it once in the ring, once outside the ring, near the mattresses, and then on the ramp.
And on the ramp itself, it was quite cool. And this is, as we said, a great way to kick off the show. Rosemary retains her title. She's won all 3 matches against Jade, so
What's that mean? Yeah.
This is either...
I don't want to say, they're burying Jade, which they're obviously not, but, it's kind of hard to come back from that now.
No, I'd like to see Jade join Decay now. Now she's like, I can't win. I'm just going to have to join you.
Yeah.
And then start backstabbing her from inside.
I see, where this is going. It's Jade's just going to be give up, and, maybe they're gonna bring in Gail Kim again.
Very possibly.
Yeah.
Very possibly. We'll see where it leads. There's got to be something more to it than just this.
Okay.
But the image of Rosemary standing there with the title at the end, it was very cool.
Yeah.
So then we moved into a backstage promo from Moose. Saying he's not happy with Cody.
Yeah.
And we're gonna hear more about that when he comes to the ring shortly.
Pissed off.
Yeah, he's not happy.
No,
he's a big angry Moose.
Yeah, he's pissed off.
Okay, so I believe this is going to be one of the last Hardy segments, because in news, if you haven't heard, the Hardys have
been living under a rock.
Yeah,
in the wrestling world.
They haven't re-signed with TNA. They are leaving as of next week. So we will miss the Hardys.
We will.
This was a good last segment as well. Basically, they're at their personal zoo, I believe he said, and Jeff's got to go find the spirit of Vincent Van Gogh, who he finds in an obsolete mule. And he tells him he should buy a shark for his saltwater pool.
Yeah.
Then they teleport to, what was the MCW?
Yeah, never heard of it.
Never heard of it. And they end up winning the tag team titles from Entourage with a Z or something in their name. Senior Benjamin was, of course, the star of the show.
Yeah, he killed it. He was my favorite in this whole episode.
Absolutely
the whole,
brilliant.
Matt Hardy thing that happened tonight. Like usually they steal the show, but no, Benjamin was.
Stole it when he tases the number one contender, so the Hardys become the number one contender. That was
like
amazing.
he was there for like a good they're talking, and they're like, well, we've already got number one contenders. We can't push you in, blah blah blah. And you just see. Like in the other, the other shot and segment, there's just,
Senior Benjamin sneaking up to them.
Yeah, sneaking up behind him. And he's like, what is he going to do? Like, what's he doing? Yeah, he's got his pink taser there ready to go.
Yeah, amazing. And I thought the actual favourite part of this whole segment for me was the crowd chanting Maxwell.
Yeah.
Then the Hardys, of course, disappear using Vanguard 1 at the press conference afterwards. And a dude of African-American descent absolutely freaks out.
That made me lose my shit too. That was amazing.
And then that's it, I'm going. And just runs out.
Like he's looking at all the white people like, how do you think this is normal? What the fuck I'm out of here.
It was great. But I think that's it. I think that's the last of the Hardys. So we'll find out next week, but I'm pretty sure that's it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it. We got to see like the glimpses of where it first began, with the whole fireworks and them fighting in that flea market and stuff. I was like, oh, this is where it all began, kind of. Not like obviously where they were fighting. It was just like what they were doing. Like, it's like, I remember when they had the fireworks, and I was just like, what the fuck? And the Roman candles. I was like, what the fuck?
What's going on? Skarsgård protected Matt.
Yeah, exactly. And now to like, in the middle of a mall and doing this. It's crazy where it's come to.
If you have seen our other shows, we do a New Japan recap as well now, and New Japan random match recaps. The Hardys are actually going to New Japan for a little while, so we're not going to miss them. We're just going to see them on New Japan.
Yeah, just on a different show.
Yeah. And I've got the network as well, so when they end up in WWE in 3 months, we'll see them there too. All right, so next up on the actual Impact show, we had Moose come to the ring.
Yeah.
Cuts a promo about Cody and how disappointed he is and how he's going to beat Cody's ass next time he sees him.
He's so pissed off.
We're being told at the meantime by Josh Matthews and the Pope that Cody's not there tonight. But lo and behold, he runs through the crowd, jumps Moose from behind. They start to pull apart. Security comes in. They beat the shit out of security.
Destroy him. Moose, I'm convinced, kills one of the security guards.
At least one.
Like when he throws him out of the ring.
Oh, that was vicious over the ropes. Just destroys that dude.
There was no one there. Yeah. There was one security guard there and he was on the floor already. Like, who was going to catch him, Moose?
It was vicious.
That's what I'm saying. Moose was angry.
The X Division and a couple other competitors come out to break it up. I think Eli Drake is egging Cody on.
yeah, Eli Drake literally comes out, doesn't do anything, and just eggs Cody on.
And then Cody out of nowhere just smashes Josh Matthews.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
Reason.
I think Pope paid him to do that, but anyway, that's a different story.
And then Moose just flies over the top ropes and takes everyone out.
Yeah, it takes about like another 7-6 security guards.
It was great. And then everyone pulls them apart again. And so this is going to lead to something big. Yeah. There's going to be a match coming. I'm looking forward to it.
Same here. It's going to probably be for the Grand Championship now.
Well,
we'll see.
Yeah. But this is a really good build-up segment to a feud. Like, I really like this.
Yeah, no, fucking oath, yeah. I love a good old, breakup, all-out brawls, chaos is happening, just shows, like, old-school wrestling.
It is. And there was fallout from this as well. Not only Moose and Cody Rhodes' fallout, Brandy yelling at Cody, that's always bad. When your wife yells at you, you're in shit, dude. Yeah. Trust me.
Okay.
That's not a good thing.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
But apart from that, when Josh Matthews comes back to the commentary desk, all of a sudden, he's the biggest, dirtiest heel in the world.
I like Josh Matthews. Favoring to him be turning into a heel, so I want to see that happen.
Yeah, but he lays it on thick, dude. He wants you to know by the end of the show that he is now a heel. He's been broken.
Yeah,
it's a Hardy. He got broken.
Yeah, he got broken. Not by Matt Hardy, by
Cody Rhodes.
By Cody Rhodes.
So the next match on the card, we had James Storm versus Jessie Godderz. If you haven't been paying attention over the past couple of weeks, Jessie Godderz has systematically been destroying the D.C.C.
Pretty much killing them off.
Starting with Eddie Kingston 2 weeks ago, Bram last week, and now versus James Storm.
Yeah.
Within a couple of minutes of the match, Kingston arrives at ringside to start causing shenanigans. He gets kind of taken care of by Jessie, but still hanging around.
Yeah, still hanging around, being a nuisance that he is.
Jesse looks like he has the win with the Adonis lock.
Yeah, crab. Yeah.
The Adonis crab, whatever. It's a Boston crab, just because he's big.
Yeah.
So it's an Adonis crab. And out of nowhere, Bram appears with a chair, smashes him in the back of the head.
Yeah.
Gives a distraction. Storm gets the last call super kick and rolls him up for the pin.
Yeah.
What did you think of this match?
The match was okay. It wasn't like spectacular or anything. It wasn't like, over the top. For the storyline, like, now I'd like to see where this goes, you know, because like I was actually thinking Jessie Godderz was just going to take them all out. Like,
Just take the win.
And I didn't mind that at all too. Like, I was like, okay, cool. So they're killing it this way. So one guy's just going to take out your whole quarter. No, they're actually keeping this up. So maybe they're going to do a different angle where Jessie takes all three of them handicap, maybe, and
I'd
that
like to
kills
see
them
that,
automatically, or ultimately.
Well, what I like is the fact that even in the booking, Jesse's been booked strong.
Yeah, no.
It took 3 guys essentially to take him down.
Yeah.
So,
and he had the win to blah blah blah.
Yeah,
if
and
it
he's
wasn't
had 2 out of 3 wins.
Yeah.
And,
No, like he would have had the win this match.
Oh yeah,
if it wasn't for Bram.
for the distraction. Yeah. So I really appreciate the fact that they're booking Jesse strong.
Yeah.
And as you said, I'd like to see where this goes in the ultimate conclusion to, well, hopefully the D.C.C.
Yeah.
Next up, we had the match that I was most looking forward to on the card tonight, which was the Skywalker Andrew Everett versus the Carolina Caveman Trevor Lee.
Now, this was a good match.
This was a fantastic match. And Trevor Lee, of course, was joined by Shane Helms. Now, there was just some great countering and flipping, and this was like a true X Division match in every sense of the word.
Very. Like, if it got you going, woohoo, or wow, at the start of in the first 5 seconds, then it's an X Division match.
And it just kept rolling at like an extremely quick pace.
Yeah.
There was a lot of, again, high flying. There was a lot of
good wrestling.
Great chain wrestling. You're absolutely right. Some great counters, some great submission holds. It was just a really fun match.
You can tell these dudes have definitely wrestled with each other before and they enjoy it. So
yeah, they get along quite well.
Yeah, they have a good chemistry.
So Trevor Lee gets the win in the match by holding the tights after Andrew Everett went for the shooting star press and Trevor Lee put his knees up.
But Harry Helms was distracted,
causing a distraction at the same time. So again, Andrew Everett comes out looking good, was booked strong, is getting over with the crowd.
Yeah, getting over a lot with the crowd. If anything, the crowd probably was the loudest when Andrew Everett came out tonight.
Yeah, 100%. And Trevor Lee, of course, is still doing his dirty heel gimmick, so him holding the title for a couple more weeks, I don't mind.
Yeah, no, same. Like, I don't mind seeing that, and then, transactioning to, Andrew Everett getting it.
While we were talking, what I was thinking is I'd really like to see a 3-way match, DJZ, Andrew Everett, and Trevor Lee, with Shane Helms banned from ringside.
Yeah, well, it's X Division that they usually do that.
They do that a lot.
Yeah. So that's probably going to happen.
Yeah. So another person who, if you have been reading the rags, checking the news, is Drew Galloway. He's leaving TNA. He didn't re-sign his contract. It's a shame. I like Drew. I like his talent.
Yeah. Oh well.
But
probably still going through his emo phase. So.
Yeah, but that's fine. Look, he's getting a lot of bookings, working the indie scenes, and working so there's he's making money. I don't feel so he's not losing anything by not re-signing with TNA. He's just doing his own thing, which is cool.
Yeah. And as I said, I reckon he'll probably come back.
Yeah, at some stage, I'm sure we'll get him back eventually. Replacing him, apparently, though, is Magnus. Will be coming back onto the roster soon, so I'm looking forward to seeing that. Now, Drew Galloway challenges Moose backstage for the Grand Championship. We're going to skip to the end of this straight away. You know that Drew is dropping to Moose because he has to, because he's leaving. So round 1 went to Drew. Round 2 went to Moose. Round 3 went to Moose by split decision, and Drew had a little emo hissy fit and left. The match itself, I actually was enjoying some of the wrestling.
It was alright. It was just the fact that it was going to end up in 9s and 10s just didn't make it enjoyable.
Yeah, the Grand Championship concept is good. The execution is fucking terrible. If you want to make it like a real sport, like in a real sport and real fight and boxing and MMA, people don't get 9s and 10s. They get actual scoring based on strikes and ability and all the rest of it. So make it more realistic. Like round 1 should have been Drew winning by a long shot. Like it should have been, Moose getting 7s and Drew getting 10s. And round 2, like, Moose took it by a long shot. And round 3 was close, so it
Like,
should have been
what
closer.
are TNA thinking? Do they actually think, like, oh, the fans are that dumb, they're not going to be able to calculate it, so we'll just put 9s and 10s to make it easier for them?
Yeah, it just takes you out of the match and, like, makes it so unrealistic.
I think what you said before when watching, they shouldn't do the whole... If they're going to do, like, this whole scoring thing, they should just scrap the numbers and just call out the winner. Like the judge says who won the
Judge
round.
1 gives it to Drew, Judge
Blah,
2
blah.
gives it to Moose,
Exactly.
Judge 3 gives it to
Done.
Drew.
Easy. And then they'll, whoever's got the most names called up is
You
the winner
win
of that round.
Yeah,
Easy.
I think that'd be a better system.
Yeah.
Well,
And even then, probably wouldn't have got as much heat.
look, I think, honestly, we've said it week after week after week. It's time to drop the Grand Championship gimmick, make it a TV title again, make it an Intercontinental title, make it something else, and just give it normal wrestling matches, and let's just move on from this.
Yeah. Hopefully no more judges. Or...
Yeah, please, Jeff Jarrett, Scott D'Amore, Dutch Mantell, please hear us.
Yeah.
Like, no more of that. And finally, we had Josh Barnett versus Lashley for the world title. Josh Barnett being an ex-MMA and UFC champion. The youngest UFC champion in history. He's had matches in New Japan, apparently, as an actual professional wrestler. His last week, he's showing against Bad Bones.
Bad Bones.
Was ridiculous. He just kicked the shit out of that poor man.
Yeah, I'm convinced he killed him, but I don't know.
I don't know. We'll check up on Bad Bones
Yeah,
at
we'll
some
check.
point.
I'll see if he's got a Twitter or something like that.
The match itself, I found, the beginning of the match was very structured as an MMA match.
Yeah.
Lots of grabs and holds and submissions, and it felt like an MMA match. Slowly it built to a wrestling match.
Bobby Lashley was heavily carrying, though.
Yeah, heavily carrying this match.
Not a bad thing, but still, like, if you're going to make this your main event, put someone,
Yeah, like
more
this.
credible. No offense to Josh Barnett or whatever, but like,
If this was a real fight, I'd be very interested to see how he
yeah,
does,
actually, I'd
'cause-
love to see
yeah.
if it was a real fight. Because holy shit, yeah, imagine seeing them two guys.
Yeah, that'd be really interesting.
Yeah.
Like, and they look like their styles are really similar and stuff. But there's no wrestling match. This dude is way too green. If you go watch a lot of Lashley matches, it's not Lashley carrying the match; it's somebody else carrying the match.
Yeah.
But Lashley obviously does his part spectacularly.
Yeah.
But in this case, it was Lashley carrying. It was very obvious. Josh Barnett just couldn't keep up. Lashley did all the real wrestling moves.
Yeah, no, he did. Yeah.
And if it wasn't for
Actually threw Josh Barnett around and sort of positioned him in the right
places and stuff.
Yeah.
Look, if it wasn't for that, this would have been a total disaster. If we had to, personally, if I had to rate just this match, like if we're saying, out of 10, what would you give this match? I'd say it'd be like a 5. Like, it wasn't the worst match I've ever seen.
No,
It
it's
just
not
wasn't
like,
good.
No, exactly right. It just wasn't a wrestling match. And, we were talking about, it could be interesting seeing it, different styles and stuff. And it could be, because, they're both MMA fighters.
Yeah.
So, we might be able to see some MMA style fighting. But,
It just fell flat.
no, yeah, it felt like, they were just tying up. I've seen that already. It wasn't, there was glimpses of it. But it was, still, yeah, I'd rather them seeing go full at it. MMA style than do half wrestling, half
It just didn't work.
Yeah, it just didn't work, and it was main event too. If this was like a mid card match, or
Doesn't
even
matter.
at the start of the night, they could have played this start of the night and the knockout
At the end.
Yeah, and it would have been so much better,
Yeah.
and it would have made sense actually.
But it's alright. Look, Lashley retains with a spear. I don't think we're going to see a lot more of Josh Barnett.
No. I think he was just there for a little bit, hopefully anyway.
Yeah, and we've got a whole lot of new talent coming in, including Alberto Del Patron, formerly Alberto Del Rio in WWE.
Patron, get it right, Holmes. Sorry.
The rumor is ODB is coming back as well.
ODB.
Can't wait for ODB.
She's a dirty bitch and I love her.
And as I said earlier, Magnus is rumored to also be coming back. So it's going to be an interesting new era of TNA, mixing it up with the talent that's left versus the talent that's still there and the new talent coming in.
Yeah.
Should be a totally new show going forward.
We're getting new wrestlers, new faces, new commentators, possibly.
Possibly. So
A new heel fraction.
I'm not going to say too much on that rumor, but there's a rumor that maybe a legend of commentary that's been the possibly one of the, if not the greatest commentator of all times,
He-
may be coming
Let's
to
just put it
Impact.
this way: he is the voice of WWE wrestling, and he doesn't even work there.
Yeah, so maybe. So we'll see how that
Like,
goes.
that's the only clue I'll give you.
That, which I would be very, very happy with. But that's it. That's the episode of Impact. Did you watch it? Let us know in the comments below. What did you think of the last episode of
Did you
this
hate it?
era?
Did you love it? What do you think of the Matt Hardy stuff?
Yeah, and this is it. So after this, it's a totally new era of
Yeah.
TNA. It's not actually going to be TNA anymore. It's just going to be Impact Wrestling.
Yeah.
Apparently, we're going to meet the new owners.
Yeah, the new owners.
Looking forward to the new era.
Me too. I'm definitely looking forward to it. Like, we can't, as TNA fans, and I was saying to the Stooge before, like, we got to get used to this stuff. Like, this happens a lot with, TNA stars. And it's usually the old dudes that come in and,
Do their runs and
do
then
their
off they
runs
go.
and off they go. Like, yeah, it's sad to see the whole Matt Hardy stuff go. But at the end of the day, like, as you said, I'm looking forward to all the new guys that are going to come in. Or some of the old faces that are going to come in.
Yeah.
Like,
And
and
some
they
of the
can
people
do
that have
this.
been sitting just under the main event, like
Exactly,
Eli Drake
exactly.
and EC3 and
And Tyrus
Tyrus,
and
and
stuff
all of
like-
those
yeah.
guys now get to go up a level.
Like, yeah, fair enough, EC3's a main eventer, but, like, now he's going to shine.
Yeah,
He will shine.
it'll be very, very cool.
Yeah.
So until next week, thank you so much for joining us as always. Make sure you leave us a comment below. Let us know what you think of TNA, all the new people watching. The show's getting more popular. It's an awesome
I don't know
time.
why, but awesome.
Yeah, we're always happy when new people are getting on board. And until next time, don't forget, adventure, excitement. Stooge craves not these things.
Welcome to the Stooge Revolution.